To call this special meeting of the Board of Education Finance Committee to order. Today is November 20th, 2025. The next special meeting of the Board of Education Finance Committee is on Thursday, January 22nd at 8 a.m. Agenda item number 1, election of the committee chair. I would like to nominate Greg Grambling to chair the Finance Committee. Do I have a second? Bill? That is seconded by Bill. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, all those in favor of Greg Grambling as chair of the Finance Committee?
John Dunn's a yes, too.
Okay, that is unanimous. Thank you, Greg, for chairing this committee. I'm going to turn over responsibility of running the rest of this subcommittee meeting to Greg as the new Finance Committee chair.
All right, thank you, everyone. Feel a little lonely over here with somebody that's sitting next to me. Why don't we go ahead and get started with the meeting? We can go ahead and start with the review of the October 2025 financial report. So I'll turn it over to Rich.
Right. This is the financial report through October. We do show a positive balance of $589,006. That is an increase of $88,397 from the previous month. Going through the list of changes from the previous month, tuition, we do have a positive balance of $133,000. We did have some placement changes, which resulted in some savings. ESY line item is showing savings of $86,615. The anticipated start date for ESY is June 29th, so there'll be less days in June than anticipated, which is resulting in those savings. Building subs across the various RCs have had some days of either unpaid or some turnover days. That's savings of $17,837. We have step and level savings, as well as some unfilled clubs and councils across the schools. That's saving $17,324. We have 2 more paras in the new salary schedule, so that's a savings of $12,300. We have salary savings from the 2 HVAC positions, as well as a library media specialist for $11,077. ELP tuition is a reduction of $12,500. We do have a student who was classified with an IEP. We are showing a deficit in HVAC maintenance. We are contracting out that work while we have those 2 vacant positions. We have a placeholder in here for a potential transportation study of $40,000, similar to the security assessment that we have a placeholder in. Once bids come in, we'll determine whether or not that should be increased or decreased. And then the biggest change is electricity. We are forecasting a deficit of $112,256. Connecticut did pass in late May, early June, what's called the Day Ahead Services Initiative, and that is resulting in rate changes as prices are now set in real time, leading to more volatility in demand and supply changes. And so we've seen a large spike in our electricity bills for the first half of the year. And that's something that's going to continue for the rest of the year into next year. So that's $112,256. Overall, the general education RCs are a positive $1,457, while the special education RCs are a positive $587,550. Just going through some of the RCs, RC1, we do have salary savings for a librarian on leave of absence of just over $6,000. RC3 middle school, the building subline is showing a positive balance of $6,000. That's just some turnover in the building sub staffing line. RC5 Henley, we have step and level savings of $2,047 from robotics, the stock market club, and student council. And then currently safety patrol is not running for a balance of $2,533. At Holmes, we have building sub positive balance of $3,235 for those same reasons. And then we have step and level savings of $2,048 for robotics and student council. And then the webmaster stipend has step and level savings of $258. Oxbridge, we have step and level savings of $1,049 for robotics. And then safety patrol and enrichment clubs are currently not running at Oxbridge for a balance of $5,066. Moving to Royal, they also have some positive balance in building subs of $5,200, and then some step and level savings of $2,302 in robotics, safety patrol, and the Royal Ambassadors Club. And RC10 Tokenique, step and level savings of $1,654 in robotics. And then in RC 12, as I mentioned earlier, we do have some vacant HVAC mechanic positions, so we are contracting out that work, which is leading to the deficit of 25,000. And then in RC 13, we have step and level savings of $367 in elementary music stipends. Moving to RC 16, we have a placeholder in there for a potential transportation study to review school start times, as well as potentially aligning the high school and middle school start times in the walk radius. So we are collecting bids, and once those bids come in, we'll adjust that placeholder either up or down if needed. Moving to RC 24, as I mentioned, we do have a couple more paraprofessionals on the new salary schedule, and so that positive balance is now 118,196. ESY is pushed back 1 week to accommodate planning and staffing for the special education department. And so those fewer days in June is relating to the 86,615 positive balance. And then tuition, non-public is forecasted a positive 180,565. We had a our placement that came in below forecast. And then RC 25, as I had mentioned, electricity does show that deficit of 112,256. That is the DASI change by the state that allows suppliers to procure prices in real time. And then ELP tuition shows a positive balance of 36,375, slightly less than the prior month, when that one student has reclassified with an IE.
Questions?
Thank you. I have a couple of questions, so just, okay, starting with the transportation study. At the fireside chat, Eric, you said that we can't really talk about the start times until we know whether or not we're going to have a depot. So I didn't realize that we were already anticipating putting out an RPF for this anyway. So when
Well,
did that sort of change?
We're in the conversations with the town now. We're supposed to have a follow-up meeting before Thanksgiving. And we'll know information. We just wanted to get the numbers out there and understand what it would take and how much it would cost. And then once we're ready to, we could then move forward at that point in time. But this isn't to start anything yet because we still need to resolve the issue with the bus depot, understanding whether it will or will not be feasible.
Right. So you're just sort of laying
Trying
groundwork.
to plan so that when it's time to make that decision, we can move forward quickly as opposed to start the process at that point.
Great.
So I guess point being, if the bus depot is a no-go, we won't do the study because.
Yeah, I think that, one of the challenges will be if the bus depot is a no-go, we're still going to be living with the higher costs of the bus situation we have now, which would logically say, knowing that we're talking about potentially $1 million in additional costs if we try to change the schedule. I think we would have to say, hold off until there's another solution for the bus depot.
Okay. You have another question?
Yeah, I didn't. Sorry. ESY. So we had put 8 days in for this year's budget for every day in June, right? How many days does the 86,000 represent?
5.
So if the first day of ESY is the 29th, that's the 29th and the 30th.
Correct, so you'd
That's-
have 2 days left.
Right. So if we put down 8, but this represents
So
5.
typically what happens is you have one day where they call staff in for training and professional development.
Okay.
That counts as a day, but there's not actually a day of teaching students.
Great. And then my last question is about the electricity. You said that, I tried to look up information about this online. There's actually not that much. But you said that right now it's 112,000. Is that for just the fall? Is that for the whole year? We
So
expect
that's-
to see this every month?
No, so that's what we're forecasting out for the full year.
Okay.
So we do have schedules where we actually track the demand, the usage, the supply, by meter that we have it across all the schools and obviously central office. And so things can change a little bit depending on usage, but this is what we're expecting for the rest of the school year.
Great. Thank you.
Presumably, is the town experiencing the same
Yes.
issue townwide?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea if they're going to go back and try to push? I know that there's this public.
So there's also the public benefit charge. We talked about that, I think it was in the 2 meetings ago.
Yeah.
Where there was an anticipation that was going to go away. That hasn't quite gone away. It's been reduced because the state bonded money to pay for a portion of it. But we still have that charge on our accounts. The town, in speaking to Josh and Jen, they have seen that demand change as well with related to the DASI. So they haven't asked for a transfer yet. Usually they'll wait until the end of the year to kind of balance out their accounts. But they're seeing a spike in their electric accounts too.
Yeah, I was wondering if they might be, we sort of relied upon the town to lead that effort on our behalf effectively. So I was wondering if they might, as a result of this DASI stuff, they might be going back and trying to push again.
They have, not that I've known that they've pushed to the state. It's probably not going to happen considering this is like a statewide initiative that was passed in late May, early June.
Yeah.
So this is something that we're going to see going forward, not just for this year, but going forward for future years.
What power company? does
Ever-
the district use?
Eversource.
Eversource, thank you.
Other questions? I know John's on the phone. John, anything from you?
I'm good, Greg, but thank you.
Okay. Let's move on to budget transfers.
So we have two transfers to recommend. The first is to cover that electricity shortfall of 112,256. We are recommending taking the bulk of the money from the later start date for ESY of 86,000. The turnover savings and building subs from RC 3, 7, 9, and 10, and some of the savings in the new salary schedule for paraprofessionals. And then the second is similar to a transfer we did at the beginning of the year. It is to put $25,000 into the contracted repair for HVAC with the funds coming from the salary line item that we're not filling for the HVAC.
Any questions on those?
Well, it's just responding. The savings go right away to the bill.
Yep.
Okay, and everyone's supportive of those generally? Okay, great. All right, I think we're on to public comment.
Good morning. If anybody in person would like to participate in public comment, please approach the podium and state your name and town of residence for the record, and note that you have up to 3 minutes to comment. We have nobody.
Great, I'll take a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.